Oh, damn. Sorry, guys. Kind of went live by accident. Supposed to get Jimmy on here. My bad. So I was going to hit the wrong button. Hold on. Let me grab Jimmy. Welcome to live streaming production issues. Should be here any minute. All right, well, hopefully Jimmy will join in a minute. Let me keep an eye on that. This is why these shows are always late. Welcome everyone to another episode of another episode of Bitcoin Brief with your host, Tone Vays. All right, still wrapping up, unconfiscatable. And yeah, it'll be time to focus on the next set of conferences. Wait, why is my camera not focused? Still not focused. There we go. That's a focus. All right, and Jimmy's here. All right. Am I even using the right microphones? I am, but I don't have a speaker.
All right, there we go.
They should be able to hear you. I'm not set up. We're good to go here.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about, Tone. It happened at Unconfiscatable.
I'll let you know when I can hear you, but the audience should be able to hear you.
Yeah, well, audience, it's Tone getting ready, but yeah, we will be talking about the big elephant in the room.
Bluetooth. But chat with your audience. Go for it.
Yeah. Basically,
tell about Unconfiscatable.
Is talk about what happened at Unconfiscatable, and I'll tell my story about what happened with Trace and everything else. But the conference was really amazing. A lot of really good talks and a lot of cool people. We had a really nice carnivory dinner. Although I'm still sad that I didn't get to eat some of the tomahawk ribeye because I was just so full from all the courses that came before it. A lot of really interesting people, a lot of cool merchandise, and I think Willie Woo said this best, but Unconfiscatable had probably the best swag bag that I've seen at a conference. And I've been to a lot of different Bitcoin conferences. I don't think I've seen a swag bag with that many cool things in it. So yeah, it's at the D in Las Vegas. They're gonna have it next year. I think you guys should all come. Tone is still working on getting everything set up, so I can keep on talking, and you guys could have to kind of listen to me. But yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Vegas or anything, but I like the D. Yeah, only thing about it is the hotel check-in and like the women dancing on the tables and stuff. Not really my stuff. So, yeah. Tone, are you almost ready? You can't hear me yet. All right, so that means okay. You can hear me.
I can hear you now. Yes, I'm finally I connected. I was yeah, I'm finally connected. So I have no idea what you said, but I hope it was good things.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Well, you can watch the video afterwards.
Yeah, why would I ever watch my own channel? Like, it's bad enough other people watch my channel.
Well, there's some motivation for you there. I might have been trashing the conference, you don't know.
All right, there we go. Okay. Wow, that was like the most unprepared start like ever. Good thing we're only at 300 viewers at this moment. All right. Hope you enjoyed the conference, Jimmy. Hope you had a great time. It was definitely this one was definitely a challenge to put on. We were bigger, we did more, and bigger challenge for next year.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it was a lot of fun for me. And hopefully there will be even more people next year. A lot of really cool people, a lot of fun speakers. I was telling them that the swag bag was probably one of the best that I've seen at a Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, no, we're gonna try to make that even better. But yeah, for sure. Oh man, so the scammies went well. Trayvon James made a video. He was very upset. He was grouped with Craig Grant together.
Craig Wright, you mean? Oh, Craig Grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was grouped with Craig Grant. Obviously, it's because they're black, which is the.
So they're calling you a racist now, huh? You're racist.
It has nothing to do that they were shilling BitConnect together, and now they're both shilling Hex. But no, nothing to do with that. Yeah, so he was upset he wasn't in a group by himself. See, like the name of that award, right? So this is the Shitcoin Shill of the Year for the Golden Pump Award. I would love to name it the Trayvon James Award, but the Golden Pump Award is just too good. I don't want to give that up.
I don't think you should name it after people just yet. You know, I mean, maybe we could put previous winners on the trophy.
Not yet. I could make it the BitConnect Award. There should be a BitConnect Award. I don't plan to name it after people, but like, for example, the most centralized, decentralized blockchain, Ripple will win that every year. It becomes a silly category unless you are fighting for the Ripple Award for the most decentralized crypto company. All right, we will deal with that later. Let's talk about our stories. And I know the price is moving, so everybody wants to know, but we have a couple of stories on our docket. We begin, of course, with our most popular centralized database, and that is Ethereum. The Ethereum hard fork is coming, but we can say that, you know, every month or so. But this is going to be very, very interesting, and the Ethereum people are starting to break up, just like the Bcash people. See, this is what happens when you have leaders. When you have leaders, they decide and they break up and they get into fights. So the topic of the programmatic proof of work, aka PROG, POW, has been widely discussed over the past year as the Ethereum core developers discussed a few hours ago. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. Just give us a summary of what PROG proof of W is and why some of the most prominent and most vocal Ethereum fans are not happy about it.
Yeah, so PROG POW is a different proof of work algorithm, and it's been Ethereum's thing to sort of make it anti-ASIC, or something that won't be easily mineable by just a small group of people. And PROG POW has been a solution to that, and something that they've been working on for the past year. Of course, that means that current equipment essentially just goes and becomes a nice large brick. And that's, I think, where a lot of the people that are upset by this are coming from, is that you know, after Bitmain and many other companies made these ASICs for the Ethereum network based on the proof of work that they currently have, you know, switching to something like PROG POW, now you are obsoleting all of these machines. So yeah, of course, there's a lot of people that are kind of upset, and that's where we are. So you know, it was controversial for a long time, but the developers just decided to do it. Not unlike what's happened in BCH and all of the drama regarding the infrastructure funding proposal. They just decided sort of unilaterally as a developer group, hey, we're going to move forward with PROG POW because we don't like miner centralization based on ASICs and stuff like that. So essentially, there are people like Eric.eth. He's I think the main guy behind Gnosis or something. He's saying, I'm not going to switch, which essentially means that there's going to be 2 Ethereum coins. The last controversial Ethereum hard fork was the DAO hack one, and that resulted in Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. This time it looks like it'll be based on PROG POW. We don't know if it'll go through. Maybe they'll come up with some compromise. Maybe somebody will back down. But if, as it stands today, it looks like there's going to be 2 different Ethereums after this hard fork, which I think is slated like in June or something like that. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch for.
Okay, so a couple of questions. We're not going to spend too much time on this. Why do all of these blockchains that want to compete with Bitcoin, that claim they have some kind of innovative technology, want to go backwards in technology by eliminating ASICs?
Well, I mean, the ostensible reason is that they think this will allow like the common man to go and mine and stuff like that.
Because the common because the common man really wants to go mine.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's kind of like saying, well, you know, the common man should be able to go and search for gold in their backyard.
Exactly. How about this? How about we ban all current advanced gold mining technology so that the common man can go back to a stream with a little sieve to go mine?
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they're talking about. But that's their idea of progress because they are beholden to socialist ideals.
You said it. Yeah. I was just about to say that. It's the idea.
I mean, they really want like sort of equality of outcome, so they ban innovation, and that's kind of their mentality. And you know, this is why a lot of them support Bernie, probably. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a sad situation, and it looks like they're going to hard fork. And this is the half-life of any coin, like the time from launch to when it splits at some point, seems to be about two to 4 years. And we're seeing that all the time. BCH is extraordinary in that they're able to do it on a much faster basis. But I mean, anything that becomes popular has a lot of value. I mean, you know that being at the center of these things is very valuable. I mean, Barry realized this pretty early with Ethereum Classic. So I expect more and more of these, especially like the higher up on the CoinMarketCap chart you are, the more likely you are to split, I think.
Hey, I want to just one more quick follow-up on the socialism idea. Weren't they supposed to be proof of stake by now? Why isn't, I mean, if they're going to get rid of ASICs, why aren't they going all the way? Why are they, man, I don't know what ages of people are watching this. Why are they just like, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, why aren't they going proof of stake?
I don't want to, I was going to say stick, why are they just sticking the tip in? Why aren't they going all the way to proof of stake? Because I have coined the ticker ETW, Ethereum work. I will expect the Ethereum to go proof of stake so that ETH stays with the socialism of Vitalik of proof of stake, but the miners stay on the old proof of work chain and they go ETW. If ETW ticker related to Ethereum proof of work gets created, I want a copyright on that so they can pay me royalties. They're a centralized company anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the ostensible reason is that proof of stake is really, really hard and the security properties aren't proven or anything. So they're delaying it until Ethereum 2.0. This is sort of like a halfway measure, which, Ethereum is famous for halfway measures, and they're probably going to switch it. And then when there are enough ASICs, they'll probably switch it again until Ethereum 2.0 is ready. So basically, they don't want to go all the way because Ethereum 2.0 is too hard and too difficult. So, this is a halfway measure that they can do right now. And that's more or less what they've decided. And not a surprise for me, this is exactly the sort of thing that they do all the time. And, this is how they run their ship. So, yeah. Not much more to say than that.
All right. Well, let's change gears away from centralized databases and talk about. Wait a minute. What happened to this link?
I don't know.
Don't tell me they dropped the article. Give me a second.
I hope they didn't, because it was a pretty good article.
Because I actually read something for a change. So this thing better be there.
Let me see. Let me see if I can get there.
Oh, come on.
They took it out?
Oh, no way.
Oh, no way. No way. That was an epic article. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God. Dude. Hey. Oh, that is bad. Anybody
Yeah,
read this?
I read it and you read it, but I'm not sure a lot of, well, I mean, let's see if somebody archived it.
Please tell me someone archived this.
Hopefully, web archive.
This Mimble-Wimble thing is out of this world. What a fucking scam that is. And I didn't even know this piece of shit existed like until like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's been kind of crazy what's happened. So I can't find an archived one. Yeah, I mean, maybe one of our somebody in our audience can find it. But essentially, well, you want to give a summary, Tom?
Sure. So basically, I mean, we will talk about Trace Mayer's involvement in this in a minute. I will also bring on Jacquimo to give his take. But let's talk about the technical of the situation. So Mimble-Wimble coin is apparently the next in line of scam coins claiming to be better than Bitcoin because it has on-chain privacy, which comes with its own set of problems. One of those problems is the fact that you can't audit the number of coins in your blockchain, which makes it incredibly easy to double spend. Like it sound from the sound of this article, sounded like a child can do it, not even one that's a very good programmer. So basically an exchange called Hotbit, which I'm not familiar with, but they have like, I don't know, they trade like 60 coins. A shit ton of the Mimble-Wimble coin that they had was being double spent. And based on their private communications with the Mimble-Wimble centralized authority, Mimble-Wimble coin centralized authority, they mentioned a couple of things and they vouched for those coins that they would not be, destroyed or missing. And they had a little debate. And of course, the Mimble-Wimble centralized, programmers team is not gonna, pay them back the coins that were double spent away, even with 60 confirmations, 60. I have no idea how often these blocks are. My best guess, these blocks are probably every 30 seconds, so that the insiders that had a fast track to earning a bunch of these coins as of November have a shit ton of money and now are going to be selling it all to the greater fool. This is completely insane. And I don't understand how some people are shilling this garbage at Bitcoin conferences, which kind of starting to make me upset. Jimmy, talk about the technicals.
All right. So essentially what happened was that they used the wallet from the Mimble-Wimble coin team, right? Like there's only really one wallet for this very, very new coin. I mean, it was only launched back in like November or something like that. So it's like 4 months old. So they used the wallet, and it turned out that the wallet couldn't detect double spends. It had no way to figure out like which was the right chain to go on, or it kept confirming it. So somebody deposited a very large amount of coins, and the wallet thought it received it. It confirmed it. And then they credited the user. They probably traded it for Bitcoin and then went back. And then the block got the chain got 51% attacked, and then the wallet still thought it was good, but the chain went somewhere else. So when they tried to spend those coins, it wouldn't work. They contacted the Mimble-Wimble coin team and asked them what the hell is going on. And they told them, well, just wait for more confirmations. It'll be fine. So they upped their thing to 60 confirmations, and then it happened again. Same scenario. So they were like, okay, something's going on. They finally wrote them some sort of a tool to help validate it, and it turned out that the wallet versus what they thought was like the right, the wallet versus the verification tool, they were completely different. So essentially what you have are developers that don't know what the hell they're doing. And I can tell you for certain that Mimblewimble coin, or the Mimblewimble protocol, is significantly more difficult to program with because of the hiding properties of Mimblewimble than something like Bitcoin. So it's not a surprise that they screwed up. And of course, they because Mimblewimble doesn't keep track of all of the stuff that happened beforehand, a large enough double spend won't necessarily be detected by their full nodes because there are no blocks to really go back to. So you either have to keep that in cache or in memory or something like that. It probably just didn't handle it very well, or and their devs probably didn't think about it very well enough. So of course it got exploited. So as a result of that, what's happened is if you go back to the previous one and click through to that article, they were fighting for a while, and essentially they were blaming the Mimblewimble coin developers on this post, but they've since taken it down. But if you click through, please check this link where it says please check this link.
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I have it in my phone. They deleted it, but I still have it open in my phone, so I can copy the text and I can paste it somewhere.
Yeah, you should. You totally should. All right, so basically, if you click through to that link, it says basically that the Mimblewimble coin people will make the Hotbit users whole by using some of their pre-mine. Now, their pre-mine is fairly significant. It was something around 50% of all of their coins, and their coin limit is 20 million. So that means that they had 10 million. A lot of it got dropped to Bitcoin holders based on whether or not you registered with them by December 2nd or something like that. And essentially, they had some left over. They're using those funds to make the Hotbit users whole. Now, the amount is not trivial. I think it's in the 500,000 range or something like that, which is like 2.5% of all Mimblewimble coins in existence. So, I mean, with the cryptography and their lack of knowledge around these things, I wouldn't be surprised if it's being inflated already. But essentially, there's it looks like they're making the whole, and that's it's kind of a that might explain some of the bounce back in price since this morning. I put out a tweet saying Mimblewimble coin, this is kind of what's happening. I think it dropped 80% from the previous day's high. So yesterday it was trading at $32. This morning it was trading at $4. I think it's recovered to like $17, probably in part because of the resolution of this particular issue. But yeah, that's what's been happening.
I'm taking screenshots of that article because this exchange in that article actually accused the Mimblewimble team of running a scam and stealing the coins.
Yeah, and they kind of might have been. I don't know. It's hard to say, but they're going to make them whole from their airdrop funds, which they of course control,
because they printed money for themselves first, then they hyped it up. They're using like some Bitcoin OGs. I don't know if that's I don't know how that deal came together, but
I can explain. I can explain how that happened. So here's what they did. They did an airdrop to Bitcoin holders. But it wasn't like BCH or Bitcoin Gold or Bitcoin Diamond or anything like that, where they just sort of give it out to the people that already own it, and with whether you want it or not. With Mimblewimble coin, they made you register. So Trace, being an OG, he has a lot of Bitcoin. He's been accumulating Bitcoin since it was 25 cents back in 2010. So he has a significant amount. So he was one of the few people that actually registered for this airdrop. So after he did, him being a giant whale, he got a large part of the airdrop that they gave to the Bitcoin holders. And this explains a lot of his behavior, honestly, is that he has a significant amount of Mimblewimble coin. I would guess in the millions, because Adam Meister and some other people were promoting Mimblewimble coin. He was, by the way, at your conference, and I hadn't seen him before. Now I know exactly why. But the whole thing was there, and there were a bunch of people that were in it, and he got a ton of Mimblewimble coin as a result of that airdrop. And he wanted more people to get into it, so the price could be pumped and he can probably like drop it on them or something like that. The thing about his behavior that's been especially bad the past few months is that he's been going anywhere and everywhere and arguing that coin joins are stupid and that we should really be using Mimblewimble. And this was his sort of bridge into, hey, people should be using Mimblewimble coin. Remember, Mimblewimble coin isn't even original, right? Like they forked off of Grin. Grin is sort of the original Mimblewimble coin. And basically what they've done is taken the same code, but instead changed it so that there's a 50% airdrop instead of, the supply schedule that Mimblewimble or Grin has.
So they took a more honest Mimblewimble coin, forked it, paid half of it to themselves, and now claiming to be the better coin.
Yeah.
Usually this is basically it. It's like the reverse of like what, Z Cash and Z Classic or something. It's like, hey, how about we take away your scam part of your coin and we launch a more honest one? This is like, how about we there's an honest
add a scam to it, yeah.
How about there's a more honest, useless scam coin? We're gonna add a bigger scam to it, and then we're gonna promote the shit out of that.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like Bitcoin Gold all over again, right? Like they added a scam into the Bitcoin code base by doing, mid pre-mine basically, where they took like 50,000 blocks worth of rewards for themselves. So, this is 10 million. I think they kept a bunch of it, but they also airdropped it to a bunch of people, including Trace Mayer. So he would go and promote the hell out of it, which he certainly did. And you can go show that tweet now too.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna, I took all the screenshots. It was a long article, by the way.
Yeah. There's been so much back and forth because they're accusing each other. And Hotbit, I think, had a pretty good claim, right? Like, it's like, dude, it was your wallet that caused us loss.
Dude, they must have paid them a shit ton the moment this article published, which is why it went away. And this
so the plan is to use some of the 10 million that they have from the airdrop, or the unclaimed part of the airdrop, to give it to Hotbit so that they won't fund them anymore, basically. And it seems to have worked, at least on a short-term basis, because Mimblewimble coin literally has gone up, like, it's about 3 to 4x in the last 6 hours. So this morning when I tweeted the Mimblewimble price being at like $4, it was clear that this news was having some effect, or I don't know, Trace was dumping or something like that. A few hours later, after they make this announcement, it looks like Mimblewimble coin is back to only dropping like 50% from yesterday instead of like 80.
Yeah, well, congratulations, guys. You are making Trace Mayer richer by allowing him to exit the scam coin onto you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the piece of paper because I got some stories on that.
Making everybody richer. Good job.
Tone, go to the next story. Stop looking at your phone.
All right. Well, the next story is the whole Jacquimo situation. This is the little card that was Trace handing this out?
Apparently. So it says MWC Mimblewimble coin. Mimblewimble applied in the base layer. Scarce, censorship resistant, durable, destructible, saleable, portable, fungible, private, and divisible. Good money. Up 100x in BTC in 2 months. Now, if that doesn't scream scam to you, I don't know what does. Because that is the first thing that a scammer will say is guarantee returns or get you to be so greedy that you will want in on it. And Richard Hart was saying this every single time that he was interviewed about Hex. It was something about like, you're going to get 6,000 times your money in 2 years or something like that. And he kept saying that. Same thing with the BitConnect guys. You're going to get back your money. You're going to get back 10 times your money in like 2 months or something like that. This is about the most transparent way to scam as is humanly possible. And Trace was apparently handing these out. Now I didn't get one of these, but I can tell my story. I was getting prepped for the scammies at Unconfiscatable, and I was talking to Trace right beforehand, and we were chit-chatting about various things. And then finally, I was like, "Hey, so what are you up to?" And well, actually, no, we were reflecting on some of the Bitcoin airdrops that we had gotten back in 2018. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Clean, Bitcoin whatever, like all of those, and how good those days were. And he just sort of casually mentioned, "Hey, did you get the latest airdrop?" And I said, "Which one?" I got something from Handshake, and I tweeted about it, and it's only really for developers and all that. But he said, "No, it's called Mimble Coin. And right now it's worth like something like $1,500 per Bitcoin." I was like, "What? What?" So I was like, "Okay, well, I'll have to look into that." And I had to like literally right after he said that, I had to go on stage for the scammies. But basically, what had happened was he was trying to show me Mimble Coin by arguing that it's. So I think we have an idea of like what percentage of people actually register for the airdrop, because he said $1,500 per Bitcoin. Assuming that the price he was referring to on the Mimble Coin was about $30, that's about 50 to 1. So he probably got 50 Mimble Coin per Bitcoin that he had, because maybe 2% of all Bitcoin holders registered for the airdrop, which means in turn that really like that's a real large sum for Trace Mayer. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the millions. But basically,
is it not on CoinMarketCap?
Not there, because they don't know the circulating supply now. So you have to go to the search bar and type MWC.
Whoa, wait, they don't know the. What do you mean they don't know the circulating supply?
Well, go to the search bar and type MWC. You'll see. Not there. The search bar right under there.
Oh,
not there. Yeah. MWC.
Yeah, I'm like, I saw it here before. I'm like, what the hell happened to it? Oh,
well,
wait,
they don't know the circulating supply, so they don't know the market cap. Yeah. So yeah, unclaimed airdrop funds to make Hotbit whole. So they don't know the circulating supply, so they can't put it on the market cap. But now it's like $15. So it's literally recovered like 3x since the bottom this morning, because they apparently made a deal with Hotbit to, they bought them off basically. So. I mean, the volume is tiny. I mean, it's $180,000 in 24 hours. So I don't know who owns these coins or who's trading them, but it seems kind of stupid to own any of these right now, just given the supply and what they've done with this coin. But what I'm saying here is that Trace Mayer was trying to shill it to me. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear his whole pitch. I would have loved to, because I wanted to see what he was saying to people. But I had to go on stage for the scammies and present the first award. And that's basically what prevented me.
This was probably the worst conference for him to show this thing at.
Yeah, and he was handing out this piece of paper to like everybody, apparently. American Hodl and many others.
Jacquimo.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's kind of like Roger Ver in that regard. He has too high an opinion of himself and his ability to convince people that he's smarter than they are. Like, dude, you're not that smart. And if you think you are, I have some news for you. What you just invested in is a complete scam. So yeah, that's the sad reality. I'm sure he'll be friends with Roger Ver soon if he keeps going down this road.
All right. Well, since I still have the article on my phone, maybe there's a way I can put it into the Wayback Machine, but I don't know how to do that. But it's still open on my phone, so maybe you can do something with that cached file. I have no idea. This is outside of my area of technological expertise. But I've never actually done that before. But yeah, so I have the article, so I can still read it. I took a bunch of screenshots. If I have time, I can paste all those screenshots together into a readable article. But yeah, this was long as hell with so much detail. This must have taken them a day or two to write.
Oh, they've been updating it like every day for like the past week. I mean, this is a problem that's been going on. And
I mean, look, I would take down an article too if someone's going to pay me $10-20 million. I mean, I don't blame them, right?
Well, their market cap's not that big, but yeah. Well, actually, $10. Well, $15, 20 million, so $300 million market cap right now. Yeah, something like that.
You can probably buy tonevays.com and the Tone Vays YouTube channel for $10 million. I'll entertain the offer.
Well, yeah, but then you'd lose your soul, Tone. They want your soul, not your channel.
Oh yeah, no, I know. No, I won't sell my soul. I mean, maybe for $1 billion, but for 10 million above, we can negotiate some of these domains. But look, everyone has a price, right? Mine is just a little higher than the average person.
Well, I mean, did Trace talk to you at all at the conference? Because I mean, it's so crazy that he went this way.
Trace said nothing to me. I did not even know about this till like the next day. And I was on that stream. I walked over to Adam Meister. I saw him and American Hodl and Trace streaming in the corner. I was walking out to go to the after party to host the Scammies. And I just stopped by there, said a few words on that stream, and then kept going. But dude, I was exhausted. I was like, people saw me during that conference. I was stressed. I was the MC and like the manager and like the production manager and everything on the conference day. So yeah, next time we're gonna outsource some of that work.
Yeah, but this is something that I mean, it's just kind of really sad because it seems he's more or less burned his reputation in less than 24 hours. I think it was Warren Buffett that said it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to destroy it. Trace pretty much did that. He's had a good reputation in the Bitcoin space since 2010. The fact that he managed to burn it in so short a time is just absolutely astounding to me.
No, I know. And like I had one controversial speaker coming in to that conference, and that was Bobby Lee. That was like my one controversial speaker and sponsor was Bobby Lee and the Ballet Wallet. I did not like expect this controversy surrounding Trace, who, was a solid speaker. I was happy to get for the event.
Yeah, I mean, but I've watched some older YouTube videos since December, and pretty much he's been shilling Wimblecoin everywhere he could.
And now people are posting, 2016 history where he was shilling Pivx.
Yeah, that was I don't quite remember that. I don't know if I was paying attention or whatever. But yeah, I mean, apparently he did, and there's like a tweet showing that and everything else.
Yeah, I believe Bitcoin Motorist put that up.
Yeah, and there's yes, I mean, just so many red flags that we really should have been paying attention to. But I mean, you really never know.
It's impossible to pay attention to everything, right? Like I say,
Wimble
is just one of 4,999 scam coins on CoinMarketCap. Ironically, the stable coins are not that. Like, Tom calls everything a scam. I'm like, no, I only call things on CoinMarketCap a scam, numbers 2 through 5,000, with a little asterisks on things like Tether, because I'm actually not sure that Tether is a scam, but I'm pretty sure Ethereum is.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're a scam. If you have a pre-mine, you're pretty much a scam. But yeah, this is just kind of like, that it was literally right before this that he was talking to me in the corner there for a good 10-15 minutes, and that was the first time I actually got to talk to Trace. So I wonder if I talked to him earlier in the conference, like whether he would have shilled it the same way or he felt the need to shill it right now. I don't know what was going on, but I mean, I don't know. I would love to hear more stories about like what's been going on and why it happened. the rumors that he lost a lot of Bitcoin doing something, and maybe this is his way to get back or something. But I have no idea.
We're not into the we're not turning this into a conspiracy theory channel. We just like to talk about the facts in front of us, and this is why neither of us call Tether a scam, because the facts aren't in. But the Ethereum facts are in. It was a pre-mined, for-profit, unscalable piece of mess that still happens to be functional for the time being. I mean, the facts are there.
Indeed it is.
All right, let's move on. I can't seem to find it, but I know it was in my time. I get so many notifications. By the way, for the 3 days of the conference, I was not able to check my Twitter. So if I did have a bunch of notifications there, I obviously didn't get them. I do want to find that Pivx one. Just give me one more second. It should still be in my history because I just saw it yesterday, I think.
Well, I mean, somebody posted it to one of my my things. Let me see if I can find it, because I've definitely seen it. Because I've tweeted about Trace Mayer a couple times today, or in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody posted it. Just like sometimes it's hard to find a lot of this stuff. No, I don't see it. I don't know where it was.
Here, I have it. Let me send it to you.
All right, cool. Send it over. It's like a screenshot of one of the tweets from before.
Yeah. Why can't I paste it here?
And I pasted you the whole article, by the way, from Hotbit, but the screenshots aren't there. Like the screenshots of like their evidence and emails and
yeah. And, all right, so I just sent it to you on the chat.
Yep, no, I got it. Telegram's actually better because I can paste, but that's because I can like just drag the link, but that's okay.
All right, here it is. Here on Telegram.
Yeah, that's better. And I can just drag it. Then I can just, yeah, it was Patrick. So how come I didn't see that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's not what I was. No, he had a screenshot. He had a screenshot of a tweet.
But the screenshot's right there.
No. There was a better one. But this is one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. There is a screenshot. You're right.
Yeah.
Right, and this is from 1st of July, 2017. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah. And it's all about proof of stake, right? It's all about, how do you make more? And I got into this big thing this morning, like scammers have this thing, right? Where they're like, hey, Tone, what do you think of this? They talk about it, right? Like, hey, what do you think of this? I know I'm holding this scam, right? What do you think of it, right? So even if I say it's a scam, it gives them free promotion. Which was a scam this morning. I already blocked the two guys, and then they try to play it off like you're against innovation when you try to explain why they're running a scam. This shit is so frustrating. When is the community going to get smarter? And the answer is probably never. Like here it is. I blocked the guy so you can't see it, right? But this is like someone's like asking me about their scam project, and I'm like, well, let's do it simply this. If it has a white paper, there's a 90% chance it's a scam because Bitcoin is not included here. There's a 90% chance it's a scam if it has a white paper. If it raised money from unqualified investors through crowdfunding, now it's a 99% chance of a scam. And if it has a token on CoinMarketCap, 99.9% chance it's a scam. That means out of 1,000 may not be. And there has probably been 1,000 on CoinMarketCap. Now, none of this actually applies to Bitcoin. None of it does. This is what happened after Bitcoin, okay? And then they start talking about how they're innovative. So they took, was it XMR? I mean, I don't want to unblock these people, but whatever it was. So they took another scam coin. They cloned it. I think it was either Stellar or Monero. I don't even know. They took another scam coin. They cloned it. And they added masternodes. That was their great innovation. Anyway.
I don't want to talk about innovations in the scamming space. Let's move on to our other stories.
All right. So This one is good. This one, I think I think I should probably go straight to price. We're gonna go through these kind of quick. So there's error or a plunder. Report suggests that Fcoin purposely moved customer Bitcoin since 2019. Now, this was interesting. So I started reading it, and off the bat, I'm like, what the hell is Fcoin? Is it a coin or is it an exchange? So I decided because none of this is clear. Like ever since Fcoin fell insolvent this month, blockchain researchers have been poring over data to figure out what caused the failure and where all the China-based exchanges cryptocurrency went. So this makes it sound like Fcoin is just a coin. But when you start reading, you're like, wait a minute, it doesn't sound like Fcoin is only a coin. It's some kind of an ecosystem. So I go to the Fcoin website to figure out what it is, and all I see is Chinese, literally, right? Because the site doesn't even work. So now you kind of Google, what is Fcoin? And the first article you get is from July 2018. What is Fcoin and why it's important? And you should know. Anyway, crypto exchanges Fcoin insolvent after revealing. So this is the current news. But it seems like Fcoin is some kind of an ecosystem, not just a coin, of other nonsense.
I thought it was just an exchange. I thought that's what it was.
Right. That's what it sounded like. So Fcoin sounded like an exchange of coins, but it also looks like Fcoin has a coin that trades on other exchanges.
Yeah, so it's probably an initial exchange offering or something like that. That was very popular last year. So,
guys, this is how they're all going to end. Either they are going to steal all the money, or their incompetence is going to make you lose your money. It doesn't really matter which one it is. Good luck with that. All right, we're going to move on right away. MoneyGram continues to be bribed by Ripple and their money printing of the Ripple token that they sell at a regular basis. So they are paying another $11 million to MoneyGram because MoneyGram is basically an insolvent company that was on the verge of collapse. And I still haven't restarted my computer from yesterday, so this could be tricky. Pulling up MoneyGram. Let's see how their stock is doing. So MoneyGram was actually on the verge of collapse, and then Ripple comes in with millions of dollars to try and save it. MoneyGram was rising in its stock price when they showed up. Let's go to the weekly chart. The monthly chart clearly shows you it all. And it looks like Ripple is unable to save MoneyGram, no matter how much Ripple they sell to pay into MoneyGram to save it. MoneyGram is gonna go out of business. Ripple will eventually buy out the failing company in order to try and make themselves legit. So this is how this deal is working out. Basically, Ripple is paying MoneyGram to use Ripple in order to prove to the, in their court case, most likely, that Ripple is not a security of the Ripple Corporation, that Ripple token, XRP, is not a security of the Ripple Corporation, and MoneyGram is somehow using it. Meanwhile, they're just paying them another $11 million in order to integrate this useless token to make, remittance have more elements of complexity. Instead of just converting your, say, US dollars into the Filipino peso, now you would convert your US dollars into Ripple and then convert Ripple into the Filipino peso, which is insane. So Jimmy, any thoughts on Ripple continuing to fund MoneyGram's operation?
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you have malinvestment. Like you have free money, you're going to spend it on crap that getting Snoop Dogg to speak, or at your party at consensus, or getting Bill Clinton to speak at your conference or something like that. This is exactly what happens with people that can print their own money. They're going to spend it, in ways that don't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. They're trying to sound more legit. They're hoping that it helps their price or whatever. Sorry, man. It's centralized shit.
Yeah, I mean, guys, every time you buy Ripple, that's what you are doing. You are handing money. You're handing your hard-earned money to the Ripple Corporation, which then uses that money to infuse the failing company of MoneyGram. to try and pump the price of Ripple token so they can sell you more Ripple token, because they have what, 50% of all the Ripple token in their 90% pre-mine or whatever the hell they had. And they've just been dumping it on you ever since. Oh God, people just don't, people fascinate me sometimes. But at least real companies with actual products are starting to wise up and starting to do research on the scammy crypto companies that are buying them. Maybe someone should look into Tron before they take their money, like steam it. But hey, when you have a scam and you want to be sold to a scam, that's not a problem at all. But the owner of a top-tier Australian football club has walked away from a buyout negotiation with a controversial cryptocurrency company. So at least they're starting to look into it. See, the problem is when people tell people, when you guys tell guys like Jimmy and myself and Jacquimo to get along and be friendly, this is the kind of crap that makes all of us look bad. When you don't say something, when you see fraudulent behavior, it makes the entire space look bad. So I am taking a stand with this channel and calling out fraudulent behavior in an attempt to make the space look more legitimate. The problem is it's like, you know, trying to move an ocean with a teaspoon, because that's how much fraudulent behavior actually goes on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Any comments on that? Not really. I just want to point to the headline.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, this one we can briefly talk about, then we'll move on to price. The Finnish authorities have 15 million in seized Bitcoin, but don't want to sell it. Well, they actually want to sell it. They just don't have a full understanding of crypto because their neighbors have been selling it. So they confiscated about 1 million worth of Bitcoin back in, a while ago when the price was low, and they still haven't sold it yet. They're still holding on to it. The price is now 15 million. And they're afraid to sell it because they don't want these coins to go back into fraudulent activity, which is kind of funny because if you say, hey, I just confiscated this car from a drug dealer or whatever, or from someone we arrested, but we're afraid to sell this car because another drug dealer might actually buy it, right? Like this is their logic. And the evidence doesn't support that logic because the latest report on Bitcoin being used in, black markets, it only puts it at 0.05% of all transactions, which is probably about the same, if not lower, than all the US dollars that have been printed, right, for using cash. And so just general thoughts on this, Jimmy?
Yeah, this is not a big surprise. Government authorities tend to be kind of wafflers, and they care more about optics than the actual cash that they can get. This could probably save, the Finnish government some amount of money, but they don't really care about that. They want control rather than anything else. I'm gonna guess that the Bitcoin disappears at some point, but that's just my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna sell it eventually, right? Or they can just wait, and that 15 million is going to be 20, and then 200, and then more, and they can actually infuse their country with it. Because
might happen.
Yeah, because this is Finland, and they got pretty rich off the oil reserve, I think.
That was Norway.
It was Norway.
Yeah,
sorry, guys. I know you're next to each other. Well, not really.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have what?
Between you two, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Nokia or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So But yeah, maybe you could, do that and keep infusing your country. So this is a start, right? Like them being afraid to sell it long enough, the leaders of those countries will start to realize the value of Bitcoin. So there you go. All right, Jimmy, we can promote your stuff a little bit, and let's go over to programming Bitcoin. Where's your next workshop?
It's going to be in San Francisco, March 20.
I got it. Loading. Boom, 25.
Yeah, 25th and 26th. That's right before the Bitcoin 2020 conference where I'll be speaking. But yeah, that's I think the deadline for the early bird discount is today. So if you are interested, I would encourage you to apply. I also have the Little Bitcoin book that's out in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, and audiobook. It's a very good way to learn about Bitcoin. There's also Programming Bitcoin, which is available on Amazon as well. And this is a book that helps developers to learn all about Bitcoin. So those are the three things that I'm doing. I kind of want to stick around for Price Tone because there's been a lot of action.
Let's do it. Let's go and take a look. I sent out a couple of tweets. This is so if you go to my profile, so last night before going to bed, I took a look at the 15-minute price chart, and this was a very clean pattern of this is how markets tend to go down and how they normally go up. So basically, you create, a base, and the more times you touch this base, the more likely you are to break down. But it's also very common that before you break down, you go back and touch the area of that breakdown. So this was the tweet that I sent out. And when we finally broke this area here, which is 9,700, we established support at 9,500. We touched it again. We came within a few dollars of back testing 9,700, came back to 9,500 for the fourth time and broke straight through it, establishing a new base at 9,300. You bounce around there. This is a 15-minute chart, folks. So this whole area on the screen is about 3 days. That's 24th, that's 25th, and that's 26th as I was, going to bed. And right here, you establish new support at 9,300. You back tested it fairly early this time in its life cycle. Back tested 9,500 perfectly. Went back to 9,500 second time, third time couldn't keep holding, couldn't break it down. Fourth time, then the fifth time you break down and you start establishing a new base at 9,100. That's what happens when I went to bed. And then I put a question mark right here. Are we going to have another back test? And I have this line drawn just under 9,300. So then this morning, right before the show, maybe a few hours ago, 1 hour ago, well, closer to 2 hours now, I sent this out saying, hey, well, that actually worked out as expected. So I sent out that tweet around this area here. It's around 4:30 in the morning UTC time. That's when that last tweet was sent. And I was saying, hey, look for a back test back to 300. That back test took place, around 1300 UTC time. So it's probably been about 8 in the morning. It looked like it was going to break down. So here we go. Again, we established a new support at 9,100. We came back second time, third time, fourth time. Fifth time was a fake out. It looked like it was going to crash, went back to back test. And then finally on the sixth time, it broke down and found new support right here at 80, around just under 9,700. Now I pointed a couple of things out. So this back test is going to be a challenge because it has to move quite a bit. Unlike the other ones, which only had to move $200, this one has to move a good 400 to back test, at least 350. But I really like this volume spike. Look at this giant volume spike and look at this candle. I can't really zoom in. I'll zoom in when I go to my chart. Look at this reversal candle. To me, this is a bullish volume spike. Buyers came in and stepped up. I also waited for this 9 to show up. So I took this picture just as this 15-minute candle started. And then we had to pretty much, prepare for this show. So we're going to go and take a look at a 15-minute chart and see if this green 9 and this monster reversal candle on a 15-minute chart reverse the price, because it does seem to be very short-term oversold. So we're going to start on the lowest level time frame. Let's go over to that 15-minute chart. And here it is. And wow, that was actually a perfect reversal. So let's wait for the sequential. I don't know why sequential is suddenly giving me problems. Maybe I just have to, like I said, maybe I have to restart my computer. But let's take a look. I believe that's the 9 candle on the sequential. Maybe that's the 9 candle. One of these two is, and there it is. Beautiful. So the 9 pretty much called a perfect low. It wasn't the intra swing low. It was off by a few dollars. The swing low was 86.27, and this swing low is 86.44. So it was off by about 17. But as far as on the close end basis, this was the low, and here comes the rebound. So yeah, so that was good to see. The other 9 buys did not do a great job. That's why in that tweet, I specifically made it clear that, hey, the 9 buys have not done much in this entire stretch. Maybe this one finally will, and it actually did. So there you go. Again, for the sequential haters, even on a 15-minute chart. Now, the 15-minute chart is coming up on its own 9. I'll probably still be here to watch that 9. I'll probably keep this going till the top of the hour, maybe. I do have other work to do, but it's okay. And now because the stock market, I also want to see what the hell the stock market's doing. But this is promising for a back test. Now, this back test, I want to see this back test go back to at least 9,000. I kind of, it actually doesn't have to go that high. See, this is where it's established the base, but this is where it established the low. So technically speaking, all Bitcoin has to do is get back to this line, and that satisfies the backtest requirement. In fact, it doesn't even have to actually reach it. It can leave a little bit of a gap between this low and this line. So I would consider a backtest complete at, I still don't have modified by another browser.
Yeah, you probably have it open on your phone or something. Get that message.
I think so. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll be okay if the price gets back to 89.98, let's say. Hit this moving average in the pretty quickly. I think it will be hard to break this setup trend line. So it doesn't have to go all the way back there because of how far it's fallen. And these dead cat bounces have generally been about $200. But the 9 is coming soon. If it gets there, I mean, we do need to break these highs. I think we will. I think Bitcoin has a little bit more to go. So to the upside on this dead cat bounce. But do I think this general low is in? And this is the big question. So here's the 4-hour chart. We're going to walk our way up the time frames. The 4-hour chart is about to have a pretty nasty death cross coming up. And after that, all the moving averages will be declining and going lower. The 4-hour chart is on an 8. So now you have the 15-minute chart. Well, it's coming up on its 9, but the 4-hour chart is coming up on a 9. We broke the count last time. We topped on a quasi-ish 9, and down we go. So the 9 is coming on a 4-hour chart. Large volume spike here. As long as this shadow is larger than this body, this could create enough momentum in Bitcoin to potentially go as high as these moving averages, all the way back to 9,400. So even if it goes back to 9,400, it does not mean we're out of the woods. If you look at this 4-hour chart, it did get a little oversold. There's a bit of a channel here going on. I think I drew it on something. I don't see it anymore. I thought I drew it last night, but I guess not. See, if I zoom this 4-hour chart out, oh, that's what I think I did. But where are my changes? I extended this. I don't know. Something's not right here. I can swear I extended this further. Maybe they didn't save. So I extended this channel down. This was the big 4-hour channel that everyone talked about that finally broke. And I agree. You make it a little steeper. I agree. But now there is a chance that we will hit the bottom of this channel for the final low before the halving or around the halving. Like, it's possible that the swing low will come in after the halving. And it's also possible that this swing low will break the $6,500 low. But I believe this will be the final low. This is my ultimate buy the dip. And for selfish reasons, I want this buy the dip to be as low as possible to get in on the last time to buy cheap Bitcoins, in my opinion. Now, I don't have any cash to actually buy this Bitcoin. So the lower it goes on the swing, the higher the probability that I'm going to be selling something like an apartment, a car, a kidney, whatever it is, right? Like, because I don't actually have any money to spend on Bitcoin, but I would like to put my retirement account into it, which currently is sitting in cash because it's not going to be in the S&P 500 based on current environment. But I would like to deploy that into Bitcoin at a good buy the dip situation. And I feel this buy the dip situation is coming. It could have shown up today, or it could show up in 6 months. But I think sometime within the next 6 months, there will be a good buy the dip opportunity, in my opinion, my personal funds, right? You guys do whatever you want. You are always responsible for your own, clicker finger. So I will try to watch this closer in order to try and time it. Now, the other charts I want to look up is, one of them is the GBTC premium, which will also factor in my decision as to when to deploy the retirement funds into Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin's going down, I'm getting a good price. But if I see a good opportunity based on the premium, and these are custom formulas to estimate that premium, the more likely I am to pull that trigger on the GBTC into my retirement. I wish there was a better ETF. I would even consider the CME futures because they're only leveraged 5-to-1, which is reasonable, and it will allow me to hold out, assuming I can do that in a retirement fund. So here's the 4-hour chart, and I would actually like to see this bounce off the top of this channel. Now, I may need to adjust this channel as best as I can because now the top of this channel becomes important. Now, this channel is pretty damn steep, but it's not that steep, right? So that means that even if we get the hit of this channel around the halving, it could go as low as 5,000. So it is pretty steep. I want to make it a little less steep. I want to give myself as much time as possible. So my job will be to adjust this channel as a best fit channel as much as I can, while also making it as less steep as possible to give myself, the perfect opportunity closer to the halving and wait it out. Like, wait it out. I've always been nervous about all the run-ups in 2019. And a lot of people think that Bitcoin will never go below 7, and even more people think it'll never go below 6.5. And almost everybody thinks it'll never go below 6. I'm not in that boat. I think that it could. I think that Bitcoin is too illiquid and it can really do anything. And but I am ready because I'm not giving up on Bitcoin. So I'll think of something. So there you go. Yeah, max. No, let me not say that. That would be irresponsible. I was gonna max something out, but let me not do that. So here's the daily chart, and I think I know what happened. No, I don't. This is the daily chart, and this is the weekly chart, right? Yeah. Okay. So the daily chart is being supported by the 200-day moving average. We're also on a red 2, going below a red 1, breaking setup trend, going below the 50-period moving average, and the moving averages are starting to get bunched up. This is not a very good sign. Now, the 50-day moving average did not do a good job rejecting the price, which I thought that it would. Can it do a better job supporting the price? The answer is it's supposed to be independent. Someone asked me a very good question the other day. They said, hey, Tone, because the 200-day moving average did not do a good job rejecting the price down, will it do a better job supporting the price? And the answer is supposed to be independent. And you can see how the 200-day moving average is actually still declining. So it's a declining 200-day moving average. The probability of it supporting the price is actually not as high as it would be if it was a rising 200-day moving average. I think this drop, I don't believe this drop is over. I believe this drop has more to go. And the question is, how far can it go? I do believe that it can go at least 9 candles deep on a daily chart, but I think looking at the weekly chart, potentially it can go lower than that. Now that we've adjusted the downward sloping trend line, this puts this as a critical rejection. Let's look at the last time we got rejected by this trend line, which at the time probably did not exist. So we are talking hindsight here. So if I use this point as a rejection, we ended up dropping 46%. if I be a little more lenient and use this point as a rejection, we dropped 45%, so not that big of a difference. So if I project a 45% drop from this rejection, where does that put us? Oh God, all right, let's do this. There. If I project a 45% drop, interesting. That puts us right at this Fibonacci line at 5,600 and the 200-week moving average. I honestly believe that is the tone Vays buy the dip situation. I would love to buy the dip in the 5,500 area sometime in the next 6 months. Is it going to happen? I don't know, and nobody else does either, okay? But that is what, at the moment, I'm looking for. Tomorrow, that may change. Tomorrow, I may see the markets differently. We can rebound, whatever. But as of right now, based on the current information, this is where I'm eyeing a good buy the dip situation. But because I'm announcing it publicly, there's a high probability this will not happen, and I'm going to be wrong. Are we going to bounce higher? Are we going to bounce lower? It could be the one, the probability is higher that the bounce will be higher because it's Bitcoin. And I understand that it's Bitcoin. Okay. Now, back to, I have an outstanding bet with Crypto Man Ran. And the bet with Crypto Man Ran means I win the bet if Bitcoin drops to 4,500 before the halving. So I have until early May for Bitcoin to drop to this area here at 4,500. Do I think that's going to happen? The answer is that is very unlikely. And the reason why it's so unlikely is because it's way below the 200-week moving average. This bet was made over here. The bet was made around this area here when Bitcoin was being rejected by this setup trend line and this reversal candle and this 9. So the bet was made around this vicinity. And at the time, the 200-day moving average was sitting at 4,000. And I felt that this rejection would send Bitcoin to that ultimate low. We went a little bit higher. I got the percentage move I wanted, but off of a higher price. So what I was looking for was a 50% drop from that area. That's why the bet was for 4,500. I was looking for a 50% drop off that high. That's 52%. Well, a little more, I guess. 55 gets me to win the bet right there. I don't want to keep talking about the bet, but I'm trying to explain my thinking and logic at the time. I got the move that I wanted. I got the 50% move, but I got it from a higher high. And the move was actually, 53%. That's exactly what I was looking for. A 50 to 55% move wins me the bet, but I thought this was going to be the high instead of this being the high, okay? Now, once you break this high, you become a bull again, but for other metrics. But that's what I was looking at. I got the drop, but from a higher point. So is another one of these drops coming? I think 45 is very unlikely, but I'm looking at 55 now. I am looking at one more touch of that average, and we'll see what happens from there. All right, Jimmy, that's Bitcoin. I'm going to move on to the S&P. So it's your call unless you have questions.
Well, I just wanted to promote the show that I'm going to be doing right after this stream. I'm going to read through BIP 325 Signet. So if you are interested, please come over to my channel after you're done watching this.
Yeah, so Jimmy Song YouTube. YouTube, head on over there. And don't forget Jimmy Song's Medium post. This was an excellent article. If you have not read it, why exchanges delist coins, you should read it. And is this the one where you talked about Charlie Lee starting a coin before Litecoin, or that was a different article, Jimmy?
That was a different article. Like why? Yeah, that was another one. But this one is about delisting.
You remember the title of that one?
Why altcoin? I don't. Well, click on my name. It'll show.
Okay, so yeah, but this was a great article. Why exchanges delist coins? I send this out to many people. Go
down, go down, go down, go down.
On altcoin valuation.
Yeah, I think so.
That's another great article. So If you are on the fence of being a shitcoiner, please read these articles on chain valuation and why exchanges delist coins. And I think those two articles will sway you into the right direction.
I hope so. All right. Well, I'll be done here, and you can look at the traditional markets, and hopefully your viewers will come over to my channel after they're done.
Boom. Oh, wrong Jimmy song.
There are lots of Jimmy songs
Jimmy,
out there.
I'm like, Jimmy, you've changed your lifestyle.
Yeah, no, that's
on chain with Jimmy song. I know it's
off chain, not on chain.
Off chain with Jimmy song. It's early. My brain is still fried from Vegas.
Oh, dude, yeah, you worked yourself to the bone, man.
You should have played in a tournament, Jimmy.
Well, I heard you won, so good job.
You should have played in that tournament. All right, there you go. Off chain with Jimmy Song. Shoot on over there. I got 10 more minutes, and then Jimmy will probably start near the top of the hour. All right.
Sounds good. This song is done, guys.
Bye, guys. All right, let's go to the traditional markets. Where are we here? That looks like silver. Don't care about that. Gold. We'll start with gold. We'll end with S&P. So here's gold. It's working on this reversal candle. This is a weekly chart. I want to see the daily chart. The weekly chart is not very helpful. The daily chart, tell me that's a 9. Oh, one candle before. So the top came, the candle following a 9. I don't like trading candles following the 9. I like trading candles that follow that candle if they continue going higher. And that did not happen this time. Gold was pulling back. Now it's starting to go up again. I think gold is going to pull back down into this vicinity here. I would not rush into gold right now. I also think the S&P is going to bounce. Can't wait to get the oil. I think oil is in trouble. That is a beautiful 8 candle. I would love to see a reversal candle on the 9 here to give oil a bit of a dead cat bounce into 56, then approach this area going into the summer, and then break the setup trend line, break prior swing lows. And if this is the weekly chart, and if oil breaks this low, I think we're going to go below this low. Oil looks very weak right now, this chart, and I still think oil will go down to $20. I've said this before. I've said it again. I do not, I've been saying it for 5 years. I am an oil bear, and I remain an oil bear. I just think we have too much oil. S&P, I think the S&P is finally starting to, cooler heads are prevailing. And I do think that this could slow down. Now, we could have some more downside here. We didn't get to that 9, but we dropped so quickly. I'm curious if we are going to get that 9 on a daily. This is the futures market only because I like seeing overnight stuff, but it is. My computer is always on New York time for the New York markets, no matter where I am in the world. It is 3 p.m. already New York time, so the day is just flying. And I got to book a hotel in Cape Town, South Africa, which is where I'm headed to this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun. No idea where I'm staying yet either. Thank you guys, by the way, for commenting in the last video about South Africa. I will definitely connect. We'll do a meetup, hang out, have some dinners. I want some exotic meat, which I'm sure the country will be able to provide. So right here is the daily cash chart, and that's not a good looking candle, but this is the kind of candle where things slow down. You have, I want this 5 candle to close as high as possible in order to give us a chance to get that 9 in. I think the combination of this trend line right here and this trend line, oh, how far back does it go? This trend line could certainly be adjusted a little lower. This trend line could certainly be adjusted a little bit lower to try and maximize the area between the tops. Sure, we'll go over by a little bit on a daily scale. Maybe on a weekly scale, I can draw a cleaner version of this trend line without breaking any of my rules. No, that's going to be challenging. I'm still breaking that. This one candle is breaking my rule. But I think this area here is a good area of support. What is this red line? Oh, that's an old Fibonacci extension line. Yeah, I think that's a good area. Also, it could be as low as the prior swing high, but this entire area is good. Anywhere between 30, well, not even 31, anywhere between 3,050 and say 3,000 is a good area of support. So I'm going to give it a 50-point window between 3,000 and 3,050 for a good area of support. Now, on a weekly scale, we're not even going to be close to a 9 if we get there. But on a daily scale, this could happen sometime next week. So we will see. It could also slow down and drag on. We can still bounce big tomorrow. We could also bounce huge for the next 3 weeks. Remember, because this is a red one price flip candle, we can go up all the way to 3,300, right? And stay within the bearish count. And then we just have to come back down below the close of this candle 4 weeks from now. So there's still plenty of room to rally 10% in the market, maybe 8%, and still come back down and make new lows and retain the weekly count. So I would not act on anything in trading right now. There's no reason to buy the S&P based on a weekly scale. I also don't see any reason to buy the S&P on a daily scale. And I don't want to zoom into the S&P inside that. So I would need to see a daily 9 come in. So maybe at the end of next week, there might be a good buying opportunity. And then I can redeploy my retirement fund into the S&P as I wait for the Bitcoins by the dip. That's pretty much it. I want to look at like Uber, but like there's no point of looking at individual name stocks other than making fun of MoneyGram because let me go to the stock list. Oh, I want to look at Palladium though. I want to look at Palladium. Hold on. Because Palladium was interesting. Palladium was in my trade of the year, which would have been profitable, but not as profitable as I would have liked it to be. So Palladium is still doing well. It's on a 5 of 9 weekly. So I would take another shot. I mean, like shorting Palladium here would have been profitable, but not as profitable as I wanted. But it could create a better profit opportunity. I don't like shorting anything, to be honest with you guys. I'd always rather find long opportunities. See, this is the kind of 9 that makes me more bullish than bearish because this is a 9 in consolidation and the candle is not a reversal candle. So a green 2 above a green 1 makes me bull in Palladium. I don't care how high it's gone. If the chart's bullish, it's bullish. Like I explained yesterday with the S&P, I would have been bullish right here at the high. I had no reason to not to be bullish other than the combo 13. But early on that day, when we have and the day before, when green 2 is breaking green 1 and green 3 is breaking green 2 above the 9 in consolidation, I'm bullish. So for the same logic that I am bullish at the top of this S&P, by the same logic, I am bullish at the top of this Palladium chart tomorrow. Right, that's the daily chart. By the same logic, I'm bullish right now on Palladium still. And now, unless the price swings on me, I'll be bullish into yet another 9. So I was big time bearish Palladium right here. And here's a breakout, so I'm bullish Palladium. And here I am neutral Palladium, and I want to take my profit. But now I'm bullish Palladium again. So I would, if I had taken profits on this 8, I would be looking to redeploy these profits now back into the asset. But if it turns on me, then you just, that's why you have stop losses. All right, let's go back to equities real quick. I also want to look at Zoom. Zoom was going to be one of the stocks that's a huge beneficiary of the coronavirus situation. because if less people are traveling, more people are using video conferencing. This is being streamed on Zoom. And there's Zoom. Zoom had a nice run up during the Corona scare. Beautiful low right here off the 9 as well. So Zoom is almost 2x. And right here, I would be out of Zoom. The 9 and the combo 13 with the sequential 13, the 3 highest prices in the last 5 trading days have all come with sequential down arrows. Now, this 9 down arrow is very similar to the Palladium situation. So this is why I am bullish Palladium over here in this area. And that's why I would have been bullish Zoom over here, because you have consolidation with a 9 and it's a bullish flag pennant. And you have a green 2 going above a green 1 above the 9, and then it just starts to go up. So this is where you should be bullish. This is where you should be cautious. Not the same looking thing. Here, clearly you swung up into the 9, and here you consolidated down into the 9. Very, very different picture. Very different picture. Okay. This is a weak candle, so I think Zoom is ready for a bit of a pullback. So far, only looking at a 1 to 4 candle pullback, and then reevaluate the situation. Let's go look at Uber. Uber tops on an 8 candle that was followed by a 9 candle. It was severe, so it was a quasi 9. Uber is looking very bad right here. Uber took that gap. You had a red 2 go below red 1. It's below all the moving averages. It is now approaching the prior swing high, puts it dangerously close. If Uber goes below $30, Uber is in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Uber needs to stay above. Uber needs to recapture these moving averages. Uber doesn't have a lot from a technical picture. Uber doesn't have a big leg to stand on here. Uber has its one last swing high, and I bet you Lyft is doing terribly. I haven't even seen the chart yet. So Uber, unlike Zoom, Uber is in a little bit of trouble here. So this is a very critical line for Uber. You don't want to break this line. You're already below the moving averages. You went up too fast, and you didn't create good areas of support. This is your last area of support. Other than that, you have the setup trend line at $30. So you have 33.50 followed by exactly 30. If Uber falls below 30, it's actually in a bit of trouble that could send it down for a brand new swing low off the IPO. We can look at Lyft, and it should be in more trouble. And it clearly is in a lot more trouble. Notice the Lyft picture. Notice how I put them side by side. Let me put them side by side because this is really interesting. I don't normally do this. I'm going to put them side by side. Oh, God. My subscription ran out. I got to buy a new one. Oh, can't put them side by side. I don't have the ability to. If you put them side by side, I mean, I can hack the concept, but look, see, Uber is on this number 2 candle, this one, because Uber just now broke all of its moving averages, and it's still holding above a prior swing high, and still holding above its last setup trend line, unlike Lyft. So I'm going to flip them back and forth here, or I'm just going to talk about Lyft. Lyft is doing what I'm scared Uber might do. Think of these two setup trend lines as Uber's $30 mark. Falling below these setup trend lines, there's a very high probability Lyft is going to make a new low. There's absolutely no support between the low in Lyft and the current price in Lyft. There's no TA support there. This is a very nasty volume spike right here at the high. I normally don't like the hanging man candle. I don't consider the hanging man candle a scary reversal candle. But something went wrong on this earnings report because the earnings report swung the thing up, and the following day it all came down. So Lyft has the CEO of Lyft has this habit of saying something stupid during a good earnings report. That's what he did last time over here. Or was it there? I think it was there. I don't know what the hell they said there, right? So look at Lyft's earnings. Earnings, the first impression of earnings is great, and then something happens. The first impression on earnings is great, and then something happens. The first impression on earnings is great. and then something happens. Quick comment on Mark's comment. Tesla will destroy Uber. No, I think Tesla's gonna buy Uber. I don't think they're in competition. I think Uber's network and their legal battles that they're gonna be winning will help Tesla a lot. Tesla should be focusing on replacing Uber's human drivers with automated Teslas. And if Uber doesn't want to go into that deal with Tesla, which I think that they should, if Uber doesn't want to do that, then Tesla, if Uber stock falls far enough and Tesla has so much freaking cash because their stock is at $8,000 a share, Tesla should consider buying out Uber for the IP and for the legal clearance on Ubers around the world, and then start replacing them with automated Teslas. And if that happens, Uber will be the biggest company in the world. That's my projection of the future. How likely is all that? I have no idea. Okay, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Lyft is in serious trouble. Lyft can certainly go way lower than this low based on what this chart looks like. We had a break in the action here with a big gap. And this could have easily been a 9 today, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this candle is nowhere near a reversal candle. We've broken all levels of support, and Lyft is in trouble. Okay, and Uber is headed that way. Lyft is the leader now. Lyft is the leader going down. And every time Uber drops, Lyft drops more. Uber is still technically the leader, but any weakness in so Lyft is almost like a shitcoin compared to Bitcoin. It's not exactly going to be leading. Lyft needs to turn first. I believe, Uber, I believe, needs to turn first, but earnings matter. So if I go back to the Uber chart, so Lyft turned on earnings on 11th of February, and Uber turned on the same day, 12th of February. So it's very possible that, and Uber's earnings were earlier. So it's very possible that Uber turned right here on the 9. Uber turned and is taking Lyft down with it. And because Lyft is, because Uber is much bigger and more relevant, a 5% drop in Lyft is a 10% drop probably, because Uber is more relevant than Lyft, a 5% drop in Uber could lead to a 10 or a 15% drop in Lyft. So they both turned around the same time. I see Uber as the leader. And after the leader turned, the follower just dropped more. So once Uber turns, Lyft will turn more. And Uber has a much higher probability of turning above this setup trend line because it has more downside, stability. But if Uber goes down to $30 and turns, Lyft could go all the way down to $30 from $50 and turn. So, and that's the best I can explain it. All right, guys, I can't keep this going forever. I wish I could, but I can't. I think we took a look at Tesla last time, but is Roku still stable? Let me see. Oh, it finally reached my zone, but it didn't even close out of there. Oh boy. Roku, this looks like a bad chart. Roku needed to consolidate in this triangle and break out. That was a nice looking breakout, but it failed and made a lower swing high. Now it's coming dangerously close to a double bottom and the setup trend line as the moving averages are about to give you death crosses. So this is not good. This is potential trouble for Roku. If it bounces into this death cross, it creates trouble for Roku to the tune of the prior swing high, which is around the $70 mark or whatever this is, 75. That's the kind of trouble that Roku is potentially in. Not trading advice, but I'm looking at the chart. This is a nasty death cross coming up. 2 of them. 50 going below 200, 20 going below 200, and the 50 is not that far off. Now you are looking at an 8 of 9 on a daily. 9's common. So you can certainly, and we just fell quite a bit. If the market bounces a little, you can certainly bounce into this death cross. But if the market remains weak, Roku is going to be rough. Though you would think Roku would be a beneficiary of a slowdown in economics, because more people will stay home and watch TV instead of going out to fancy dinners. But the stock's not looking great. So you got to weigh that fundamental view with the technical. All right. That's it, guys. Glance, quick peek at Tesla. Yeah, it looks like it's ready to, give you some more downside here, only because it just got grossly oversold. And the high-flying Virgin Galactic is also looking the same. Yeah, I mean, they just got out of control. The whole market is in a bearish posture, and these high flyers have plenty of room to correct and stay in their bullish trends. I would be looking for $20 as the downside for Virgin Galactic. All right, guys. I will. Oh yeah, how's Fake Zoom doing? Good point. Wow. Buying Fake Zoom could have done it better than buying real Zoom. If you can't afford real Zoom, I guess you can buy Fake Zoom. It's like, if you can't afford Bitcoin, you can always buy fake Bitcoin. Not the smartest move in the world, but you can certainly make money. This is Fake Zoom. This is the only reason why this stock is worth $4.50 is because people confuse this stock for real Zoom. This stock was worth less than 1 penny. This stock has spent the last 5 years, God knows how many years. This stock, since 2016, this stock was a sub-penny stock. It was worth less than Ripple, and people confuse the ticker for the real Zoom. They confuse ZOOM with ZM, and here we go. And this stock went as high as $9.50 from sub-penny, and now with the Zoom rally, it's rallying 4.5. I guarantee you there are scammers that are calling up people and getting them to put money into Fake Zoom just so they can get out. This is how stupid people are. They're buying Fake Zoom. It is on a 9, so maybe it's time for the pullback of Fake Zoom. Yeah, Fake Zoom went up more this year. So Fake Zoom is up from around $1 all the way to $4. So Fake Zoom went 4x, and real Zoom barely didn't even go 2x yet. This is the problem. Like when you guys are making fun of me for calling Ethereum a joke, Ethereum is Fake Zoom. Ethereum is fake Bitcoin. Okay, it can go 4x, like this Fake Zoom goes up 4x, while Zoom goes up like this went up 400%, 450%. This is up 450%, and real Zoom is only up 80%. Same thing with Bitcoin and shitcoins like Ethereum and whatever. Okay, they might outperform for a short time, but they're not real. They're not real. It's a mirage. They're not gonna last. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I didn't even show anything on my side. Guys, we have more conferences coming up. We have Understanding Bitcoin in Malta. We have the financial summits, and all the videos will be out. The poker video will be out soon. The poker game was awesome, though I have a biased opinion there. And yeah, if you want to support this channel, of course, check out, well, you can buy the on-demand videos and Hyperwave on-demand videos as well. They are available. There's no workshops. There may not be any more workshops. I may or may not bring consulting hours back, go back to how I started, making a few Satoshis. And but if you want to support, please check out the affiliate page, guys. Please support with affiliates, Bitcoin debit cards, trader platform, trading exchanges, compliant with US, not compliant with US. So if you're not in the US jurisdiction, TradingView, VPN. If you're going to sign up for these services anyway, it doesn't cost you anything extra. to support this YouTube channel if you are learning something and would like to support. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. And I'll see many of you down in Cape Town and then Johannesburg. I'll be speaking at a conference there. I'll mention it on the next stream. We'll get to buy the dip soon enough. Later, guys.